Hey y'all, welcome to Mindfully Yours. I'm your host, Ajali, and on this show, we talk about all things mindfulness, wellness, loving ourselves, and the journey to showing up authentically as who we are in this crazy world. This podcast is a safe space where we can vibe, chill, and chat for a minute about real stuff to help you heal, grow, and evolve into the person you are meant to be in this life. Thank you for being here, and I hope y'all can feel all the love and hugs I am sending your way. Welcome to Mindfully Yours. Let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back to Mindfully Yours, episode 6. I'm so grateful and thankful to share this space with you again. Today's episode is titled Parental Guidance Suggested. And when you think of that all together, put out just like that, what is the first thing that comes to mind to you? What does it mean to you when I say parental guidance suggested? Your first thought might be, okay, Aja, are you talking about TV and movies? Where are we going with this? On a deeper level, I'm looking at it from a parental perspective in walking through life with my child and being able to support them and guide them through every moment. It's leading them through those trials, those tribulations, those different things, and holding their hand. Even when things are difficult, unbearable, or extreme amounts of joy and happiness, I'm with you and I'm holding space for you at all times. I am the person that's helping you learn, grow, and evolve into this person that you're meant to be in this life. And having those tough conversations, or just having a space where you don't want to talk, you just want to cry, or you just want to sit in silence, and you just want me to hold that space for you. I'm an ear to listen, a hand to hold, arms to hug. I'm just here as a person guiding you, supporting you, answering those questions you may have, no matter how hard it may be for me. I'm guiding you. And the guidance that I'm providing may come as a suggestion. It's not a requirement. There's no handbook that can tell me exactly the perfect way to parent because every child is different. There's no pamphlet that my daughter came with that said, here you go, for the next 18 years of her life, this is how you need to do it. No one told me about the challenges and the things that came up that I had to maneuver through, cry through, hustle through. No one tells you how to maneuver a space when you're in survival mode with a child. No pamphlet came with that girl. And boy, did I wish there was a play-by-play book created to help us parent our children. There's so many books out there, and if you know me, you already know I'm on the journey to become a therapist for children, adolescents. I've read all the books, I've taken all the classes, but nothing prepares you for the moment of having your own child. And I had my daughter at 19 years old, and in no way was I prepared to parent her because I was still a baby myself. I was still growing, I was still maturing, I was still learning how to be an adult, let alone a parent. So when this little 6-pound, 7-ounce baby came out, I'm looking at her and she's looking at me like, all right, I guess we're doing this thing. The best way that I can explain the first years of Maya's life were survival. And when you're in survival mode, there's no way that you're parenting to your fullest capacity. You're just meeting those basic needs of, are you fed? Are you clothed? Are you showered? Then that's enough. You're not meeting the emotional needs of the child. You're not meeting those mental needs. There's barely a relationship because you're just in survival mode. But there was moments that were missed. There was opportunities for her to learn. There was opportunities for us to connect that were missed. And I forgive myself for that space that I was in where I was just surviving. Because I know that at one point, my parents were doing the same thing. They were just doing what they thought was best. They were doing what they knew from what they were taught. And even then, I missed a lot of opportunities to really connect with my parents. There was those moments where I missed having a relationship with my mom or having a relationship with my dad on a deeper level that was beyond surface level. When I say beyond surface level, it was having those conversations that were hard. It was having them listen to me when I cried out for help when I was having suicidal ideation. Sometimes all I needed was a hug and an ear to listen. So really all I wanted was them to be there, to be nurturing, to be gentle, to be kind with me. I always recognize that we're all just having a human experience and we're all just learning and going and growing as we go. We're not always going to do things right or the perfect way. And that's okay. I want to break the generational curses, but I also want to reparent myself. And what does reparenting yourself really mean? It goes back to acknowledgement of what your parents did and didn't do, and recognizing them as human and doing the best that they could with you as their child, and looking at the opportunities that were missed and not met, and how they truly and deeply affect you. When you look back at your childhood and those moments that your parents missed, how do you feel? How did you feel when those opportunities were missed by your parent? How did you feel when a hug went ungiven? When your voice went unheard? When you were not acknowledged for who you were? Or if you were dismissed for what you had to say and how you felt? In those moments, honor the emotions that come up. Recognize them for what they are. Find ways to comfort yourself and cope with it and to move past it and forgive. If those same opportunities were to come up again with your child or a friend, someone close to you, and you were the one they were leaning on, how would you greet the opportunity? How would you offer support? Would you meet it with nurturing, gentleness, and kindness? Or would it be a trigger response for you to react in the same way that your parents did? Some things that come back up can stand as triggers. So when we take the time to get ahead of those triggers, we nullify that trigger response because we're already prepared with those coping tools to maneuver that space. As you reparent yourself, give yourself an opportunity to connect with your inner child. We all have a wild inner child wanting to come out and play. And as adults, we get so caught up in the fact that we have so many responsibilities. We forget to have fun and play. What does that look like for you? What does not taking life so seriously look like for you? On some days, for me, it may be getting on those roller skates and trying something new. I may bust my butt. I may scrape a knee. But I can tell you right now, I'm laughing. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. Or when I'm painting a picture, not worried about what the product's going to look like. And I'm just embracing the moment. And whatever it may be. It could be a sun with a happy face, some grass and some flowers. It can be as simple as complex as I want, but I'm not worried about the product. I'm just having fun. To reiterate, part of reparenting yourself is acknowledgement for what happened and didn't happen, moving on, and finding a place in your heart to forgive. Holding a grudge is a heavy burden to carry. Find space within to offer grace, offer kindness. I'm not saying in this very moment, but take the steps to be able to let go and move on. And that could be therapy. Just like me, I keep my therapist in my back pocket, and therapy has been life-changing for me. And it's helped me to heal and create boundaries with myself and those around me. It's helped me to grow as an individual overall, from reparenting myself to learning how to love me and learning how to effectively communicate with those around me. Reparenting goes far beyond just meeting yourself where opportunities were missed. It's also healing from the opportunities that were missed, forgiving, growing, learning, and moving on. It's creating a space for yourself that wasn't created before. As I've reparented myself, I move forward in becoming a better parent to my child, my children, and parenting those areas that I felt I missed, so that they have the opportunity to grow within the areas that I didn't. I know y'all have heard about this gentle parenting taboo. Gentle parenting to me is really just intentional parenting. It's mindful parenting. Intentionally listening to your child without thinking of other things in your head. It's listening to them with curiosity, with a newness, with a freshness. Just like if you were dating someone and getting to know them for the first time, you treat your child the same way. When they're talking to you, you make eye contact with them. You watch them with a newness and a freshness and a curiosity, expressing to them what you see. My daughter likes to dance a lot and she's super fidgety. So a lot of the times I'll just acknowledge the fact that I know that you're a little nervous talking about what we're talking about right now, and that's okay. It's literally giving your child an opportunity to know that you see them and to validate them. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's taking the moments to be intentional because you love you and you love your child. It's taking those moments to really get to know them and give them an opportunity to have a safe space because they may not have it anywhere else. Where else can they have a safe space if it's not with you? Who do you think they're talking to about all the things that are going on with their life if they're not talking to you? Parenting while healing is a crazy thing to do. But it's been the most beautiful process because I see my child more clearly. I see myself more clearly. And although I know some of you may not be parents, I think it's important that you think about the areas of your childhood that may have been missed, that may still hurt you, and how you will maneuver to forgive, move on, and learn and grow from those spaces that you felt were missed. What are you doing in this moment in time to evolve from that space that you were in when you were 5 years old? When we start to recognize that our parents are just humans and they were just learning, we start to shift our mindset on the things that they did and they didn't do. When we start to give grace and we start to move with a sense of love, we start to recognize and see things a little differently. We're just humans. We're just learning. We're just maneuvering this space in the best way we see fit. And sometimes we hold our parents to a higher standard, a high standard that they can't make mistakes. It's almost like perfection for them. And it's not realistic. It's not fair. Because perfection is an unattainable thing to reach. And it's unrealistic, even for ourselves. So when we take them off the pedestal and we see them for what they are, we can finally recognize that they're just human like me. They're just learning like me. They were just doing the best that they could. I'm not saying it's easy, but at some point, reflect on how you feel about your childhood. Reflect on how your inner child feels. Connect via meditation to your inner child. Take moments to pause for quiet, to allow yourself to listen to emotions that may come up and honor those emotions. Acknowledge your emotions. Stop allowing your emotions not to be seen, felt, and heard. You deserve to feel your emotions. You deserve to acknowledge your emotions. You deserve to move past your emotions and maneuver a space of healing. You deserve to see yourself in the highest potential that you are meant to be. Those grudges, those pains, and those hurts, that baggage is too heavy a burden to carry. When will you be ready to let it go? As you maneuver this space of honoring your inner child and honoring your emotions and healing and seeing people for who they are as the humans that they are, take a deep breath in and out. And say these affirmations with me. My inner child's voice deserves to be heard. It is safe for me to cry. Every day, I embrace who I am more and more. I release all pain I've been carrying for years. Say these affirmations as many times as you need to throughout your day, throughout your week, whenever you feel called to. And I look forward to connecting with you, healing with you, and us nurturing and holding space for each other as we reparent ourselves. That's our show for this week. Thank you for listening to Mindfully Yours. You can find all the resources and links from this episode in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, which I know that you did, drop a rating and review. Let the people know how much you enjoyed it. And then go ahead and follow us on Instagram at Soul Sister Botanica. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.